Hello guys and girls, welcome back to another episode on the Falcon YouTube channel. As always, I hope you're all doing really well, and thank you once again for tuning in all over the world. We appreciate the love, appreciate the support, and just tuning in on a regular basis each week. It does not go unnoticed. And with that being said, we've got a really exciting announcement to make. So this is an introduction into our brand new show. So I can't wait to be rolling this out, sharing the insights of what we got. So we're actually launching a show called the Falcon FX Monthly Roundup Show. So I wanted to give you a bit of an introduction, a bit of an insight, a trailer if you like, as what you can expect from this show. It's going to be running once a month, and I know this is going to be entertaining, educational, practical, somewhere where you can tune in every single month. And really it's just within the title, you know, a roundup of what's happened, all of the insights. You're going to get so many exclusive things that make sure that if you haven't already, you've subscribed to the channel, you've turned the notification bell on, so you're always in the loop, because we're going to be going over so many things on that show. But within this introduction, I wanted to actually take this opportunity to bring you guys and girls involved. Like I said from the very beginning, by you tuning in and coming to the channel and investing in the channel invests back into you. And I wanted to take this opportunity just to get your insights as to what have you enjoyed so far. For those of you who've been joining us from the very beginning, from when we started this channel, what have you liked? What have you enjoyed? What have you taken value from? And within this show, there's one tiny little section that we wanted to leave for you guys and girls to actually vote on, something that you can give your insights to. What would you like? What little section would you guys and girls like to appear in the show every single month? That I think that we would love to absolutely know that. So I'm excited to hear the feedback. Drop it in the comments, let us know. You can have a detailed comment, whatever it may be. As you can appreciate, we're not going to be going into entry criteria or management of the strategy. As you can imagine, that is for the Falcon community, that is in the membership. If it is something that you want to get involved in and you want to learn, of course it is there. But from an educational point of view, from free content that we're launching every single week, of course, going down that line, so it could be something to do with trading psychology, something else. So I would love to know your input. And even if we were sharing the strategy every single week, you still wouldn't fully grasp it. There's a fully comprehensive, you have to go module step by step, and that takes time. But I wanted to really take this opportunity to reach out to you guys and girls that have joined us from the channel from the very beginning. What would you like to see be part of that show? Because I'm really excited for this, because one part is we're going to be bringing on a lot of students, so you're going to get more of an insight into our community, more behind the scenes as to how their journeys been. People that have gone from trading absolutely nothing to them being funded and then changing their life completely. So all of those kind of insights that we're going to be bringing on, the coaches as well. So you're going to get an opportunity to meet people behind the scenes, what really makes Falcon so special. So I'm excited to bring all these things in place to really educate you, help you. And we're going to be going into insights into the market. So it's not just going to be, of course, mindset based. We will be going into technical analysis, giving kind of an overview. What are the main opportunities that we were looking at maybe for the next month or for the next 2 months, 3 months, short-term, medium, long-term trades. So I think it's really going to provide just tons of value and more of an insight as to what Falcon is. Because from the outside, when you join the channel or you see us on social media, you may have a perception of what you think Falcon is like, but you'll never really know until you dive in. And if you've been in the community before, you'll know what I mean by that. But for those of you looking at the outside, you'll never truly know until you dive in and you really see what Falcon is about. It's not just about trading education. There's so much more to that, from mindset and just going deep into that, because after all, it's not about just strategy alone. You cannot just take a strategy and expect to be a great trader. There's so many things that go on top of that. Your mindset needs to scale before your account scales. And this is why building things like self-worth. If you don't have a high self-esteem, if you don't have a high sense self-worth of yourself, how do you think you're going to be able to trade a certain amount of capital? Because you'll find a way to self-sabotage. And again, these are some really creative topics that we want to talk about on the show that's going to be appearing every single month. We've got some special guests as well, so different people in the industry, psychologists, honestly, I can't wait. It's probably one of the most exciting things that we've ever brought to the channel. And I just know it's going to provide value, value, value. So something you can tune into every single month. This is something that I wish that I had earlier on in my journey, that I could kind of come, take some notes, sit there with a coffee, tea, drink, whatever it may be, tune in, knowing that I'm going to get practical steps. And I'm just going to be tuning in every single month and actually just absorbing that value and just not developing as a trader, but also developing as a person alongside that. So can't wait, really, really looking forward to it. And I just wanted to take this opportunity again to just really thank you all as to the support from the beginning. The channel really wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't without you all. You know, you tune in every single week, you leave the comments, you give us the valuable insights, you share it with everybody. Like, that means a lot to us, because it's not just about, you know, it's not about views and subscribers and things like that. You know, this is an organic channel. You know, we don't do the whole kind of clickbait stuff. That's not what we're about. This is a channel that you can fully invest your time into, to a point that you could sit there, watch 10 videos, knowing that you can take loads of notes away, feeling like that, do you know what, I've taken so much away from this, I can actually apply it. It's something that's practical, and that's the biggest thing for us. So we really appreciate the constant feedback. And again, it wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't without you. But guys and girls, I really hope you've been enjoying yourself in the markets lately. The markets are shaping up quite nicely for this month, I would say, because we're going to be going over, you know, trading a month and things like this when we get into more detail on the first official episode. But for myself, I would say favorite trade wasn't actually the biggest in percentage. It was only a couple of percent, but it was the NAS 100 USD. So it was a nice little play, really clean entry, something that's replicatable. And this is something that, again, I'm going to go into much more detail of in the future. But what I love about certain trades, and the ones that I'm most proud of, are the most replicatable ones. So it's not always the biggest percentage, and that might sound a little bit strange to those that don't really understand that concept, that you think that, you know, you might be joining trading for the first time, but it's not always about, you know, the biggest percentage that you made, because the NAS 100 was just such a clean play structurally. You know, it had all of the boxes ticked. It was kind of that go-to thing that you see over and over again in the markets. And for those of you that might be trading even different ways, you'll probably resonate that with that. It was kind of picture perfect setups. Now, you don't always get them, because essentially the market's never perfect all the time. It's imperfect, and we have to read between the lines. But that was probably my favorite trade for the month. There were other trades that banked more percentage, but that one was definitely my favorite trade. So just a couple of percentage. But do you know what? That's exciting. Those kind of things excite me. Before, it was always about, you know, how can I make the biggest return? And I was always in this kind of outcome driven mode. But when you can understand, if you look at the industry standard of people that, you know, fail in the markets, or you look at the industry standard of the percentage that people make per year, it's not that much. So even if you're a trader right now where you're making 2%, 3% per month, 4% per month, that compounded is very, very lethal. And this is why you need to be going with the mindset of thinking about scale, because when you can get like excited over just, right, a couple of percent trades here and there, you'll realize how much you've evolved as a trader, how much you've evolved as a person, because you understand 2% on larger money becomes very, very attractive. If you're trading $1,000, if you're trading £5,000, I get it. It's probably not going to be up your street, because all you're thinking about is that how can I turn that 5,000 into 10,000, and so on and so on. And you think about, you know, flipping accounts, all of this kind of mindset. But remember, this is short-lived stuff. If you look, success leaves clues. Success always has left clues. So if you think about successful people in the world, in the industry, in the trading industry, it's not always about the most ridiculous returns. It's about the consistency. Something you can do over and over again. You can replicate it, feel good about it, and that's the most important thing. You need to feel good about what you're doing. There's no point making big returns if you're anxious all the time, if it's not sustainable, if it doesn't suit your lifestyle. You know, you've got to think about these things if you want to be in trading for the long run. So you have to ask yourself, are you kind of dipping your toes in? Are you flirting with the idea of trading, or are you going all in? Are you treating trading like a business? Do you actually see it as a long-term thing? Because if you do, your decision-making becomes very, very different. You tend to ask different questions. Did I always see it that way? Definitely not. I got into trading for the same reason that most people do. You want to make money, you want to do it at home, you want to be your own boss. I get it. But when these smaller things, these kind of insignificant things become really, really attractive, it compounds massively. And it doesn't mean you can't make big returns or anything like that, but just let these things happen as a side effect. Start thinking of it like that. The one thing I wanted to mention on this show is this kind of pilot episode, if you like, is that if you're a trader right now, the most enjoyable thing that you can do for the long term is make sure that when you're trading, your outcome needs to be a side effect. So rather than focusing on pips, rather than focusing on percentages, rather than setting monetary goals, things that we can't control, because if you understand trading psychology, we don't know the sequence of our wins and losses. So how would you know that you can make 10% per month? How would you know that you can force that? We can't. If you really respect probabilities for what it truly means, because I think most people think they understand what it means, but they don't. And again, on this show, there's another section that I want to be going, dive deep into probabilistic mindset. How do you develop a probabilistic mindset? And if you're interested in that, you're going to be in for a treat. But overall, this show is, you know, I could talk about this all day long, but this show is going to be so good. It really is. And, you know, as we approach a great milestone of 20,000 subscribers, which is just crazy from when we started the channel, I'm excited to see where this goes and just see people level up along the way. We've already seen such a great feedback of people that are not even in Falcon, but they've literally just tuned in into the YouTube every single week, and they've just leveled themselves up in so many different areas of trading. So that's absolutely awesome. And again, I love those messages, and we never get tired of hearing them. So once again, I thank you for tuning in. I hope you're excited for this show. And this was more just an announcement, and again, just showing my gratitude for you following along the channel from day one. So like I said from the very beginning, by you investing into the channel, it's investing back into you, and it always has done. So again, leave a detailed comment. Let us know for the little section in the show. Let us know what you'd like to see, whatever it may be. We would love to know. And again, have an incredible weekend ahead. Thanks for tuning in as always, and I can't wait to share the first official episode. Speak to you soon, guys and girls. Take care.